Hello and welcome to this short video, Asset Management Getting Started, with me, Martin Hobbs. Every company has stuff. Every company buys stuff. We're surrounded by stuff. Some of that stuff is important, some of that stuff is not. Some of that stuff enables our business to do what our business does. So with this session, we're going to look at how you can create a session of asset management to get those assets under control and save money. We're going to look at why we implement asset management. We're looking at how we get started. We're looking at the core data we're going to need, what the required processes may be, what are the next steps that we may need to do, and then we'll summarize all that at the end. So why implement asset management? Asset management will help you understand more about your business. It will help you understand what it is that you own, where it is, who it is that's actually using it, what it's worth, but much more than that, what value it actually provides back to your business. The overall aim being that you should save money and hopefully increase your profitability. There are any number of different ways in which your organisation can save money, not least through reducing asset loss and smarter procurement. The whole aim of asset management is to give you valuable insight into what your business does. So, let's take a look at what we need to get started. One of the most important things is firstly to define the scale and scope of your project. In other words, what assets are you actually going to manage, and is the choice of assets that you're going to be managing based on the cost, their function, or their importance to your business. Once you've set that level, you then need to define what program roles you have within your asset management program. For example, you may have process owner or manager or users, or if you're a small company, you may actually be all three. Any program of asset management is actually about data, managing that data and using it to your advantage. So let's take a look at some of the core data that we need to manage. First off is the types of asset that we're managing, the data that's associated with each of those asset types. Then we might want to manage the location so we know physically where the assets are, perhaps a cost centre so we can know who's paid for it within the organisation, maybe a department so we know functionally what it is that the assets do, maybe a status so we can see if it's being used, and potentially the owner as well so we know who's actually taking responsibility for that particular asset. This key data needs to be recorded within a database that's easily managed and easy to report on. So what are the required processes that we may need to put in place? The first thing to remember is the door into your organisation. That would be a goods in process. Then you might want to think about stock or stores management. What happens anytime any asset moves or changes, requires repair, or requires removal or retirement from your organisation as you no longer own it or it goes missing. Think about the task steps that are required, who will complete the tasks, and when those tasks and those steps are actually required to take place. So having thought about the data that we need to manage our assets, who's going to change that data, and what processes are going to follow to change that data, what are the next steps we might want to think about? I'd suggest you find a tool or a system that works really well with your organisation. Perhaps find an asset management expert to help you in setting everything up. Then you must define the data requirements as we outlined earlier in the presentation, define the basic processes, and you're just about ready to get started. Remember, this is about managing assets through the life cycle from procurement all the way through to retirement. So in summary, we've looked at why you should implement asset management, we've looked at how you get started and the data and processes required, and we've also looked at the next step. I hope you've enjoyed today's overview. For more information, visit our site at assetblocks.co.uk.